Hey everybody, we're back. It is This Week in Pro Wrestling. We are back, and it's been an exciting week of ups and downs all around. It's been a crazy week altogether, and we are here live with the one and only. Introduce yourself.
Once again, it is the J to the E to the double F. Woo! And what a night we had the other night with the finale of Loki. But now it's time to switch gears for This Week in Wrestling. I'm Jeffrey Harris. He's Mike Sandoval. And we are going to bring you the latest and greatest on all the wrestling lingo. Lingo?
Yeah, that
wrestling lingo today.
Yeah. But before I get into wrestling lingo,
yes.
And before we get into the wrestling, I had to talk about, I had a meeting at Doghouse in Pasadena. And they have a brand new sandwich that just came out, and I had to share this with everybody because it was really, really good. It's called the Big Kahuna, and that's what it looks like.
Wait, what is this place called again?
Doghouse.
Doghouse. Yes.
Yeah. So Doghouse has this out right now.
I've been to Doghouse. They're very good.
Yeah, and it's called the Big Kahuna. It has an onion ring. It's a all beef patty with bacon, jalapenos, cheese, and a bunch of other good stuff. And oh my God, it's so good.
And you can get it bunless too, right?
Yeah. And it's so good.
Hey, Doghouse, if you can, bring back that pastrami wurst. That was the best.
And here's the cool thing about it that I got to mention.
Okay.
Oh, is that you? Okay. For every time you buy this sandwich, the Big Kahuna, $1 is given away to No Kid Hungry.
So not only are you eating a delicious burger, but you're doing it for a good cause. And all you're doing is eating a special hamburger that looks amazing. And tastes amazing too, right?
Exactly. So I have to thank everybody at Doghouse, especially my good friend Heather Mann, who is with Doghouse. This burger is once again at another level. And if you have a Doghouse around you,
they're blowing up. There's one in Burbank where I live. There's one in Studio City closer to where I live. And by the way, it's Doghouse. That's Doghouse spelled H-A-U-S. Doghouse.
Yes. Not O-U-S-E.
H-A-U-S. There you go. All right. The Big Kahuna burger.
I don't know why my headphones still sound weird, but we're going into it. We'll make adjustments.
Yeah. I think you're sounding better now.
Well, let's just roll.
Hey, but what a great show that was on Wednesday night for Loki. And what a great finale. It's the talk of the town right now. And then
I know. I agree.
And then we had all those nominations. Marvel's really cleaning it up.
Yeah,
all those Emmy nominations for both WandaVision and Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and the TCA award nominations just came out today. WandaVision got even more outstanding drama awards, and because it's a limited miniseries, it was able to contend for those categories as well. And Elizabeth Olsen also got another TCA acting award nomination today. So no one was looking at these shows when they were doing Daredevil on Netflix, despite the acclaim those Netflix shows were getting. But they're giving them attention now.
I know. I don't know what it is, but it's working for them.
Okay. So we have a lot going on this week. I kind of wanted to lead off this week with a story we were on, was a major topic last week, and that's Jimmy Uso, because last week we hadn't gotten to SmackDown. SmackDown was coming on the air as we were doing our show, and now we've seen that WWE is basically just ignoring the Jimmy Uso issue, and we talked about how we didn't want to see that happen. And in the past, when Uso was getting arrested, WWE would put out a statement saying Jonathan Fatu is responsible for his own actions. But this DUI arrest, they've been radio silent. So I'm not a fan of that. They've just totally ignored it and gone radio silence on this whole incident. But what do you think? Why is WWE just gone totally radio silent here and not even put out like just a even an obligatory statement of anything.
I don't know, to be honest. I really don't know. I thought I didn't think he was going to be on the air for a couple weeks and then come back. But I don't know. It looks like they're playing it off like nothing happened and keeping to the storyline. But I don't know how that helps the performer himself.
Because he was on SmackDown like nothing happened. And he's supposed to be on SmackDown tomorrow night like nothing happened. In fact, the Usos are supposed to team with Roman Reigns tomorrow night against Edge and Rey and Dominic Mysterio. So do you think WWE, in my opinion, WWE doing this and just ignoring the whole thing, to me, they're showing tacit approval of Jimmy Uso's actions. But what do you think?
Well, we can't assume that. To me, I can't assume that because you don't know what's going on in the background and what's going on with the
publicly they're showing approval for his actions.
Yeah, but publicly, in the public eye, it is, and I get that, but we don't know what's going on in the background. But publicly, it doesn't look right.
Okay, but and yes, you can make the excuse innocent until proven guilty. He doesn't have he hasn't been to trial yet.
Correct.
But this is not a first-time incident for Jimmy Uso, okay? This is not a one-time freak occurrence mistake. And he did take a breathalyzer test, and at the scene, his blood alcohol content was almost 3 times over the legal limit. The legal limit in Florida is 0.08.
Yeah.
His BAC was 0.205, I think. It was definitely over 0.20. He is lucky he did not kill or seriously injure someone or himself.
Oh, I agree. I agree with you completely.
And he needs a wake-up call. Otherwise, this is going to continue because it's already happened multiple times. I mean, he was not driving in the early 2019 incident where he got arrested for disorderly conduct.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we're not hearing about police brutality or police overstepping their authority in these incidents, Mike. That's not what's happening here. It's Jimmy Uso.
Yeah.
Unless I'm wrong. Am I wrong here about Jimmy Uso? Does he deserve a greater benefit of the doubt?
I don't think you're wrong.
Okay.
To be honest, I don't think you're wrong. But also, too, we don't know what's going on behind the scenes.
Okay, but behind the scenes, they're letting him stay on TV. They're letting him work the big angles, and they're letting him wrestle tomorrow night. So what are we doing here?
Well, yeah, and then it looks bad towards the rest of the performers.
They're not even releasing a statement.
Mm-hmm. That's why I say if they treat somebody else who has the same incident and they treat them differently, right there it shows favoritism towards what he's doing and that it's approval and that it's okay for him but not okay for everybody else.
I don't get it.
A big mess. It could become a
big
mess.
It already has. Mm-hmm. It already is a big mess. The mess is made, Mike.
Yeah.
And they're not cleaning it up.
No.
It's a big dirty poopy mess, Mike.
Well, their focus is going on the road.
Mike, there's poop all over the place. The poop is on the ceiling. The poop has hit the fan. And what happens when the poop hits the fan? It spins and it goes everywhere and you got poop all over the place. That's what's happened here.
It becomes mosaic art, okay?
Okay.
Mosaic art.
All right. But it's become mosaic poop art. So then what happens to the room when you have mosaic poop art all over the room?
You got butters. It becomes a South Park episode.
Okay. No.
But seriously, it's like I think their minds, I don't know what's going on, but it seems like their mindset is more clearly it's on getting on the road. And I don't
want the guy to lose his job. I don't want him to get fired, but you can take action here without firing him.
Yeah.
You know?
I think he needs help, and I think he needs help we've seen this incident already happen over and over and over again. He needs help. He needs to get either going through AA and
do something.
Yeah. Because what happens the next time if it happens? Because right now, if nothing gets done, it's going to happen again.
This was the next time.
Yeah.
This was the next time.
Yeah.
Because he had his license revoked almost 10 years ago, and he was put on probation, and he violated that probation. Then he had more incidents, and then he pled no contest to the incident where he wasn't driving, where he squared up with police, and then he got a not guilty charge, but still had to pay a fine for the mid-19 July DUI. But this was the next time.
Yeah. Well,
and he is damn lucky. He is damn lucky no one has been killed or seriously hurt yet, because he was almost 3 times over the legal limit. And you can't get an Uber, you can't get a Lyft or a taxi, or get a reliable friend who doesn't drink and drive to help you out in Florida. Come on now, you're not in Fiji, you're not living in Timbuktu, Missouri. How can he not find a reliable person, designated driver at this point?
I don't know. I really don't know, because at this point in Florida, the way Florida is now, and especially Orlando, in Tampa or anywhere, you can find an Uber.
And look, the reason I'm saying this now, it's not because I dislike Jimmy Uso. I like Jimmy Uso. I think he's a great talent, but I don't want anything bad to happen to him, because he's a husband, he's a father, and I don't want to see this get any worse than it already has. The fact is, I don't want him to lose his job, and you have to nip this in the bud. Yep. Do you remember Umaga?
Yep, I do.
What happened to Umaga, Mike?
I don't remember what exactly happened to Umaga.
Umaga, this man was Edward Fatu. So is this not his cousin?
Yep.
He's a member of the Fatu family. Here, let's see what happened to
heart attack caused by acute toxicity.
Okay. And you want to know how old Umaga was when he died?
36.
He was 36 years old. And how old is Jimmy Uso now?
What is Jimmy Uso's age right now?
He's about the same age.
Is he?
Be sure. He's 35. Umaga was a great wrestler. This man, he had one of the biggest matches at WrestleMania with the Lashley, Vince McMahon, Trump hair versus hair thing. And then a couple years later, he got let go because he had a drug problem, and he didn't take care of it. He didn't want to go to rehab. Addiction is a terrible thing. It's a disease, and it can kill you.
Yeah.
And I'm only bringing this up because I was a big Umaga fan. I liked him. I think he was a great talent. I think he could have been a world champion. I don't want to see things like this happen to guys like Jimmy Uso. He's got to take care. He's got to do something now, or it is going to get worse.
Yep. Because
alcoholism, addiction, it can ruin your life. But it's disappointing to me how WWE is just taking no action at all here.
Yeah.
And to me, publicly, no matter what you say, publicly, they've given tacit approval to Jimmy Uso by not even acknowledging this at all. And just continue. I know WWE, they probably have a lot on their plates right now. They're really gearing up, live touring, getting the fans back in the arenas and doing all that over the next couple months. But what's going to happen when these guys are back on the road and going to bars?
Exactly.
And the temptation is only going to get greater when they're back on the road, is it not?
Well, of course, yes. I mean, we've seen that with so many athletes around. But here's something that I've got a story up where they quote this week. It was actually on the 13th, where a quote by Dave Meltzer about this whole issue.
What did he say?
I don't know if Roman played a role in this decision. My informants tell me they are still deciding something big with this angle of the main event because it should also include The Rock and therefore it should lead to WrestleMania and Jimmy Uso should be included somehow. And they obviously don't want to ruin it.
Okay, but
And then it
some of
says
that,
something about an
some of
answer by
that's,
The Rock.
I heard him talking about, some of that sounds speculative to me.
Yeah.
When he was talking about that.
Yeah.
Because I know we've heard about The Rock versus Roman Reigns for WrestleMania, but for starters, we're in July right now.
Mm-hmm.
What is taking Jimmy Uso for 3 months off TV when The Rock can't even sniff WWE TV right now? What is that going to do?
Exactly. Like The Rock is pretty much booked through November.
The Rock
'Cause he has a
is
film
The
premiere
Rock
in
is
November.
The Rock is on a movie set right now filming DC's Black Adam. Okay.
Yep.
So, and I'm not even saying to permanently take Jimmy Uso off TV. So I'm not saying Dave Meltzer is wrong. I just think I just think he's throwing things out there.
Yeah. I don't think he really knows what's going on and insights and everything like that.
Here's the other thing. Here's the other thing. I did listen to that show where he's saying some of that stuff, and he said something else.
Yeah.
Because this was early Tuesday morning. He said Meltzer talked about asking someone, and he was like, when he asked him, it's like nothing's happening.
Yeah.
He also said he didn't know if Roman Reigns was going to bat. He said he didn't know if Roman Reigns, so he doesn't know if Roman Reigns is going to bat for Jimmy Uso. I don't know what Roman Reigns is doing about this, what he's saying, what he's telling Jimmy Uso. We've never heard Roman Reigns having issues like this. I think we can safely say that Roman Reigns probably does a good job of, keeping his house in order, keeping his nose clean. Don't you think?
Yep, he surely is acting like more like the head of the table. Let's put it that way.
Okay. And Roman Reigns is his cousin. But we have no idea what they're talking about behind closed doors and if they're having personal conversations about these things. We don't. Exactly. You would think they are, but we have no idea. But I mean, I don't know. I can't. I have no idea what they're talking about. You would think though. A guy like Roman Reigns is saying, Jonathan, you got to do something about this. You got to take care of this.
Yeah. And maybe he is. I thought they were going to build it into a storyline last week because when Roman Reigns was out there and he brought him up, I thought he was going to play it into the storyline.
Okay. But let's spitball and speculate.
Yeah.
This is speculation. Do you think Roman Reigns is giving Jonathan a hard knock backstage and saying, Jonathan, you gotta do something about this now? Like, do you think he could be doing that?
I think he is, to be honest, because with the way that they're building everything up, it affects him too. It affects everything that they're doing and everything that they're working on. And if one cog is out of the wheel, everything could go apart.
But let's be honest. If Jimmy Uso were to be taken out of this equation, it wouldn't affect Roman that badly.
No.
And I'm not trying to be mean when I say that, because like Roman is the biggest cog in all of this,
Yeah. But I also think Roman, and with their family unit, I think besides the character, I think just by seeing and doing interviews with him, it's a different. I think he is because he knows what's happened in the past with his family, and I know that he's getting on him, and he has to be different on camera.
Look, it's not for me to say, like, Roman, you got to go up to him and like we don't want you to become like Edward. We don't want you to end up like our family, but I don't want that to happen to Jimmy Uso. Like we've seen enough tragedy in this business. I don't I don't want that to happen to Jimmy Uso.
And I agree with you 100%. Like, I don't want to see it. I think he's a great performer, great athlete. I think he has a huge upside in more than just wrestling. So it's like you don't want to see that happen to him.
I just feel like no matter what WWE is saying to Jimmy behind closed doors, no matter what they're saying behind closed doors, by letting this move forward, business as usual, it's just not a good look.
Yeah.
It's just, to me, it's they're just letting it all slide.
Especially,
even if they're giving him the third degree backstage, publicly they're letting it slide.
Especially with if something happens with somebody else in the same type of incident, and he gets treated, that person who has that same incident,
that person could say, "Hey, look, I mean, look how they were handling the Uso situation. I didn't get the same. Exactly. I didn't get the same treatment."
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure a lawyer would love that.
Well, yeah.
Not me. Exactly. Not me, but okay. So, listen, I hope whatever happens with Jimmy Uso, I don't want him to lose his job, and I just hope whatever happens in the long term, I hope he will be okay and get this taken care of. But I mean, look at Matt Hardy. Remember Matt Hardy was having similar problems some years back. Yeah. And he seems to be doing okay now. So it's possible. There can be a light at the end of the tunnel for this. All right, so AEW Fyter Fest. AEW was in the Cedar Park, Austin, Texas area last night. They had the HEB Center. They did a huge show, and they did huge numbers last night. So this is from Brandon Thurston with WrestleNomics. Last night's AEW Dynamite on TNT broadcast against the NBA Finals, no less, did 1.025 million viewers. Compared to last week, it was 873,000. So they gained close to 130,000 viewers. And then the rating was up too. So they did a 0.4 up from last week's 0.3. Okay, so here are some statistics. Viewership was up 21%. Ratings were up 17%, almost 18% this week. What do you make of numbers going up for Dynamite? Last night they were headlined by the coffin match between Darby Allin and Ethan Page. We also had Jon Moxley defending the IWGP title against Carl Anderson. So things look like they're looking up for Dynamite right now.
It was a great show, and they've been putting on exciting shows since they've gone live. So I think they're doing something amazing. I think they're doing something great, and the numbers and the viewers are seeing it. The network is seeing that, hey, they're doing a good thing. Numbers are going up, and like I told you about a week ago, they struck first. And they're gonna being in front of crowds. I mean, we still have to wait till tomorrow till WWE gets in front of crowds. Ring of Honor's already started to go in front of crowds this past weekend. It's like AEW has a nice iron to start, and especially with everything that's been going on story wise.
Yeah,
they have they're in a good position.
I think it was a positive sign once they moved back to Wednesday night from Saturday that the numbers went up to like 890,000. Then they dropped a little bit, but like, that's not a big deal because, we have the NBA, we have the NBA playoffs now, and this show did very well against the NBA finals. But like, there's always there's other sports on, there's always a lot of programming on, and everything is moving away from like traditional TV anyway. So the fact that Dynamite, sort of a fledgling upstart wrestling promotion, is doing numbers like this right now, it's pretty incredible. Now, I wanted to check the Raw rating this week to do a little bit of a comparison. Let's see. So Raw this week did 1.6 million viewers, and okay, so here's something interesting. Raw's cable rating in the same demographic for this week was 0.43. Dynamite's was 0.4.
Yeah.
They're that close to Raw. In terms of not the viewership, the ratings.
Yeah.
And the key demos are what the networks are looking at and what advertisers are looking at. Those key
That's why I say they're close.
Yeah.
They're close to getting if one of the shows. I mean, that's why I say if they keep up that momentum, they're gonna match them and pass them.
I guess the big thing is what's going to happen when they move, because next year they're moving networks.
Yeah.
And then they're going to be adding Rampage to the lineup as well. So that's going to be interesting to look at. So they're going to get a second Time Warner show, or not Time Warner, Warner Media is the thing. But this is very fast. This is very fascinating. Blood and Guts was the last show to break over 1 million viewers for AEW. That was May 5th. That one did 1.09. So then they had the whole NHL playoffs thing where they were preempted for like over a month. But now they're they kind of have these spurts where they're kind of, they have these preemptions or what have you.
Yeah.
But they're doing good now. They're doing good now. And I think NXT is going to have to deal with that in a little bit because of the Olympics. So, and I think the fact that they're going on the road is going to help these shows even more.
Oh, I agree. I agree completely.
Does WWE need to take notice and step their game up here?
I think they do. To be honest, even if they weren't even close, I think they need to make an adjustment because they can't do the same old type of show and push the same old type of wrestlers. It's a different age, it's a different era, and they need to find new guys. They need to give a new push. They can't be these big guys that Vince likes, these big old muscular guys, because you know what? A lot of the guys who are really becoming superstars are not big muscular guys. They're very athletic, clean, muscular. It's like
I think about like Drew McIntyre, and like last year Drew McIntyre was just like this hot prospect.
Yeah.
And now like his promos are just so boring. And he's talking about like the Loch Ness monster and all this stupid he's being given all these dumb Vince McMahon promos,
With the Monday with that sword and everything else with Jinder Mahal, and I'm just like
what is that stuff with the sword?
Yeah, I'm like, who the hell cares?
Yes, the man is from Scotland. We get it. That's never like he was never this Scottish warrior with swords and stuff like that. Like, what are we doing here? Like, this is so dumb. But yeah, so let's get into AEW Dynamite a little bit. We open things up with Jon Moxley versus Carl Anderson. I dug this. It's good to see Moxley back on TV, and we're getting a bit of a New Japan crossover here, which is neat. The match was fine. It did what it needed to do. It was a good opener. I think it was a good way to open Dynamite with a title match with Moxley, get everyone hyped up. It was great.
It was a good match.
Brian Cage, this one was perfect for TV, and really Brian Cage versus Ricky Starks. Now, Ricky Starks may not have the traditional big man look, but in terms of personality and swagger in the ring, I think he is one of the biggest and best around. This was like a really big opportunity for Brian Cage and Ricky Starks to really showcase their skills. And coming away from this match, I think Ricky Starks looks like a superstar.
Oh, I agree. It was exciting. It was a great match.
The crowd was electric for this match.
Oh, I agree. They were really electric. They were really popping for this, and I think it really got them excited as well because you could tell they're really playing it off and playing off this whole thing, this whole storyline that they had.
Okay, Ricky Starks he's an Austin native, so I guess that's another reason.
Well, that helps too. But even if he wasn't, the thing sucked, you wouldn't get that pop. But it was a good match. they're setting up something with Cage and Starks, and that's going to start a feud.
It looks like they've excommunicated Cage, and it looks like Team Taz sided with Starks over Cage.
Yeah.
Powerhouse
Hobbs hit Cage with the belt. To change it up, and at first you start looking and you think Hobbs is with Cage, but not using the belt. This should be a fair fight, and then you see that, and it's almost like there's only one big man that they have in this faction, and it should be Powerhouse Hobbs, and that Ricky Starks.
We could get some matchups there, probably some tag matches, but it looks like Cage is probably out of Team Taz for now.
Yeah.
So a couple things. Lance Archer, it looks like he's challenging Jon Moxley. It looks like they're going to have a rematch in Dallas. I don't know if that's official yet.
I don't know, but he's trying to get his belt back.
Yeah, because Lance Archer, before they both came, or I guess before Archer came to AEW, he did have the U.S. title, and he did lose it to Moxley at Wrestle Kingdom. Okay, let's see what else. Andre El Idolo said he's looking for Death Triangle, so it looks like something's going to happen with Andrade and Death Triangle. Vicky was not with Andrade this week, so I wonder if they're trying to let Andrade work without her for a while.
I hope so. I don't think he needs to have.
What did you think if they were giving him subtitles when he was speaking in English?
Oh, yeah, I didn't get that.
I
was just like, huh?
They do that in documentaries sometimes where, like, someone who's English is a second language.
Yeah.
Does that annoy you a little bit when that happens?
As a Latino, yes.
Yes.
As a Latino, yes.
I'm not a Latino, and that annoys me too.
Yeah, because I'm like, if he was speaking Spanish, I could understand that because there's a lot of people who don't know Spanish.
Right.
But I understood.
I mean, when he was speaking in English, yeah, I could understand what he was saying without the subtitles. Whatever.
I agree, but I think that was dumb. It wasn't necessary.
I think my feeling is when that happens, they think the audience is dumb.
Yeah.
And they can't figure out what he's saying.
I agree.
Okay, so it looks like something's going to happen with Andrade and Death Triangle coming up. I thought the Malachi Black and Cody promo, so it looks like we're going to have something there with Malachi Black and Cody. I thought that was a great promo.
That was good, and it had a good pop too. The crowd was really into it.
I think Malachi Black, the way he's playing this character, I think it's a refreshing change of pace for him. I thought his promo talking about the horse being put down, I thought that was amazing.
Yep.
We'll see, but I think when they have a match, Black cannot lose to Cody. That is my one. That is my one thing here.
No. And they have to really sell it like he's really.
Now, did you notice Cody, I think, was getting a mixed reaction last night?
Yeah, he was.
Do you think fans are getting sick of Cody?
Could be, because the story angles that he's been in have not been great.
Like that whole pro-America thing was really just got on my nerves.
Yeah, that was a little too much.
Another promo segment that I thought they nailed was Kenny Omega and Hangman Page.
Oh, yeah.
They are doing a great job of setting up this matchup. And
they really are. And
this matchup, they've been really sowing the seeds for this title match really since 2019 when Omega and Hangman were tag team champions. So they've been building this up a while. And now it looks like they're setting up this matchup between Page and Omega. I think if one guy were to beat Omega for the title, I think it could be Page.
I agree with you. Because I think with what's going on in Impact and what's going on in AEW, I think this weekend I think it's Slammiversary they have this weekend. You're gonna see him lose the belt. I'm just saying it may not happen. I think Kenny Omega is gonna lose one of the belts, and it's gonna be like a landslide of things that happen, and he'll lose to Adam Page when they fight.
Okay, so it looks like Jericho now he's gonna face Shawn Spears, so that got set up for the five labors of Jericho, so Jericho can get a match with MJF. So sorry, Shawn Spears, you're about to lose another match.
I probably was bad.
Matt Hardy versus Christian Cage was not terrible. It was better than I expected it would be, especially considering Christian has got to be like 47 at this point.
Well, he's my age. He's 46.
How old is he?
He's
He's older than you. Christian is older than you. He is 47, my man.
Dude, I interviewed him. You couldn't tell. You couldn't tell when I interviewed him.
He still looks pretty youthful right now, doesn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, he does.
The crowd felt a little just sort of lackadaisical for this one, but I feel like by the end they kind of got the crowd back.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. Because everybody has seen it so many times already in different promotions in different ways. So I think it was kind of like it's a little overkill sometimes.
I would maybe, since they're doing this winning streak with Christian, I would maybe set up a match later down the line with him with Miro, so Miro can just annihilate him. So I thought I think the way they've turned around Miro and made him like God's favorite champion and all that, I think this is the perfect way to use Miro right now.
Oh, I agree. 100% agree.
Okay. So what did you think of Miro's new belt, the new promo they had for him this week? I think it's good because I feel like this is like what they should have been doing with him after his feud with John Cena in WWE. Because remember, it was after that feud with Cena where WWE just forgot about Rusev.
Yeah. And then they started with the storyline with Bobby Lashley and
that was that was horrible.
That was so bad.
So bad. So Nyla Rose, they're building up the Nyla Rose Dr. Britt Baker match. We got some stuff there.
Yeah.
Sammy Guevara beat Wheeler Yuta because Sammy's like the hometown boy. So they just had to get a quick win for Sammy. Penelope Ford versus Yuka Sakazaki. Sakazaki got the win. And in our main event, Darby Allin versus Ethan Page in the first ever coffin match. It was a casket. It was a casket match with a coffin instead of a casket. What are you gonna do?
Exactly.
Who even knows the difference?
Exactly. But wow.
It was good. It was good.
Wow, that was a good match. Entertaining, athletic, literally going no holds barred. When Ethan Page threw him on the steel steps, I could feel that. Like you could even tell when he was going down, he was even bracing in a way for it to kind of like hit his arms first, then his back, and you could see it.
Darby is a madman.
Yeah,
he is a madman.
When Darby took the coffin drop into the casket coffin, I was like, holy, this guy does not care.
It was a nail in the coffin, as it were.
Oh, definitely.
Well, the part I like though was when they unhooked the ring turnbuckle, and then he fish hooked him with it.
Oh yeah.
And then he first Ethan Page hooked his chain and yanked back. Okay, it's not something you often see in like a hardcore type of match. Kind of like a nice kind of improvised spot like that, and then fish hooking his mouth. Like I thought that was creative. Like that's not something we often see. Like normally we see the thumbtacks or whatever, or chair shots and tables. So I thought they did some different stuff in here, which I enjoyed. Exactly. This was a good match overall. All right, so let's preview next week's Fyter Fest. Okay, so here's what we have. For the women's title, we have Dr. Britt Baker versus Nyla Rose. Should be a good match here. We have the current champion versus the former champion. So we do have Jon Moxley versus Lance Archer, and this is a rematch from Wrestle Kingdom, in a Texas Death Match for the IWGP US title. Chris Jericho versus Shawn Spears. The stipulation is Spears is allowed to use a chair, but Jericho cannot. So if Jericho uses a chair, I guess he gets disqualified. And Orange Cassidy versus the Blade. Good lineup here, and I imagine we'll get some more storyline advancement. But that's Fyter Fest Night 2, and they will be in what city are they going to? Garland, Texas, at the Curtis Colwell Center. So, does the momentum continue for AEW next week, Mike?
I think it does. I think it really does. After what people were left with on this show, you're gonna see it continue.
Any standouts in that card that you're really excited about?
Nothing yet.
Okay.
Yet, but I'm just excited to watch AEW every week because
I'm looking forward to the Baker Nyla Rose match.
Yeah, that one I'm not too like. I think it's a filler match for me.
Yeah.
I think that's just something because I know.
I don't think.
Well,
I don't think it's a filler because it's Baker's first major title defense.
Yeah, but I think it's a way to prolong it.
Just build her up.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. I like the way they set it up, but I see Moxley Archer as more of not a filler, but like a transitional match to kind of give both guys something to do next week. But it should be a fun brawl since it will be under Texas Deathmatch rules.
Yeah, I agree.
And I like that they acknowledge their history with that title, and that we're still getting some New Japan crossover here. Yeah. So I think that's a good thing. So hopefully it'll be a good show. It's a good lineup. I like the Fyter Fest theme, and it's kind of like getting a pay-per-view spread over 2 nights, basically.
Yeah.
On free TV.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's see. What is the next story I wanted to get into? Do you want to go ahead and let's preview SmackDown next?
Yeah, definitely, because that's tomorrow.
Okay. Do SmackDown first, and then we'll do Money in the Bank. Yeah. All right, so main eventing, or I assume this is going to be the main event. We have Edge and Rey and Dominic Mysterio, the Mysterios, versus Roman Reigns and the Usos coming up Friday on Fox Network on SmackDown. Of course, SmackDown will be live in my hometown of Houston, Texas at the Toyota Center. And they will be on having live ticketed fans in attendance. And they are sold out tomorrow at the Toyota Center. So that, first and foremost, should be good for the superstars and the fans.
Yeah, I think so.
WrestleVotes reported that they're already setting up and doing pre-production work in Houston at the Toyota Center, and everyone is very jacked up and excited and juiced up. So I can imagine everyone will be, even though we had WrestleMania a couple months ago, I can only imagine how excited everyone's going to be to have this moment tomorrow. And I imagine it's going to be special for some of these wrestlers.
Yeah. I agree with you. I think
okay. Anything else to say about WWE going to my hometown in Houston? Houston being the start of this new tour?
No, but I'm kind of curious to see how it's going to be and what the pop is going to be like and what the fans are going to be like.
Okay, so here's what else we have tomorrow. So we're going to have Bianca Belair versus Carmella for the women's title because we missed this, but Bayley is injured. She has a serious injury, and Bayley is going to be on the shelf for 9 months, so she will not be able to wrestle Bianca Belair at Money in the Bank. I think they were going to have like a last women's standing match. Yeah. So what do you think about Bayley getting hurt and now she's getting replaced by Carmella?
Well, I'm not shocked because the injury came out that it was a torn ACL. So
it was a torn ACL.
It was a torn ACL.
Okay. Those are serious, and those will put you out for a long time.
Yeah, that's going to be some time. And I don't know what the degree of the level of the injury, but I mean, they had to do something, but I don't get why they're moving the match to SmackDown. It reminds me of Hell
ratings
where they moved the match out, and I agree with you. It is ratings, but it's like you couldn't move another match into it or do something with it because like that's the main event match for a pay-per-view. Why would you move it to SmackDown?
I guess because it's not the original match they had promised, and they're trying to pop the rating for TV. Now, remember, we did talk about how that rating did pop the numbers a little bit when they did the Hell in a Cell with Roman Reigns and who was it? Who was this opponent? I already forgot.
Rey Mysterio.
Rey Mysterio. Okay, yeah, but not that big. The ratings were not that big, and getting the match on free TV is fine, but it will. I don't think it's going to help ratings that in a very meaningful way.
And I'm curious how it'll affect Sunday's Money in the Bank. And will people drop off after the Money in the Bank matches?
Well, I think because Carmella was going to be in the Money in the Bank match, and she's out of the women's one now because she's getting this match with Carmella, basically.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the and now we have the SmackDown men's competitors will be wrestling each other in a fatal four-way. So we'll have Big E, Kevin Owens, Shinsuke Nakamura, and Seth Rollins all vying against each other in a competition before the Money in the Bank ladder match. So, okay, so that's our SmackDown lineup. Of course, Jimmy Uso is going to be on TV, business as usual, like nothing happened.
Yep.
Doesn't work for me. Anything you're looking forward to with this SmackDown lineup? Of course, we're getting a women's title match.
To be honest, it kind of kills it for me a little bit for Money in the Bank to have the Bianca Belair match.
Okay.
I'm gonna watch it. I'm going to see SmackDown, but I think I don't know where it leaves me crazy because I don't know where I'm going with this.
Okay, so here we go. So WWE Money in the Bank 2021.
Since we're going day by day, should we touch on Slammiversary? It's up to you. Or better yet, the article that comicbook.com came out saying 7 former WWE superstars who might appear at Impact Slammiversary 2021.
Okay. I didn't see that yet, but let's okay. So Slammiversary is Saturday. So we have Kenny Omega versus Sami Callihan. This is for the Impact title, not the AEW title.
Which I say Sami Callihan's going to win.
No, he's not.
You think Kenny Omega keeps the belt?
Omega's gonna keep the belt. Josh Alexander, Petey Williams, Trey Miguel versus Ace Austin, Chris Bay versus Rohit Raju in an Ultimate X match for the X Division title. I think Josh Alexander is going to keep the title.
Yeah, I think so too. Even though I do like Trey Miguel, and I
think they're all good.
Yeah, they're all good. I mean, the Ultimate X is probably some of the most exciting wrestling that I've seen, other than what I've been seeing in AEW lately.
I think Ultimate X is one of Impact's most classic, iconic matches. I think it's one of the things that started there that I think they do really well. And I think this is going to be really good. Yeah. Chris Sabin versus Moose in a one-on-one match. A lot of talk about where Moose is going next. So maybe we'll have a better feeling on the future of Moose.
Yeah.
I'm going to pick Chris Sabin here.
Same here. I'm with Chris Sabin.
Deonna Purrazzo defends the Knockouts title against opponent to be decided. How is it a mystery opponent? Do we not know who it is yet?
Well, last week Gail Kim came out to say that she's going to be facing a mystery opponent.
Okay, so it's a mystery.
I won't be shocked if it's Gail Kim, but I don't think it's going to be her. It's probably going to be what's that?
Ruby Riott?
It could be.
When was Ruby Riott released?
Something tells me that's where they're gonna fill in one of the women who was released from WWE as a pickup.
Okay. Well, Ruby Riott was released on June 2nd.
Yeah.
So I doubt she had a 30-day non-compete. So I guess who was released in April?
shoot, I even forgot. There's been so many.
Is it because April was when they started the list of. Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
Peyton Royce, Billy Kay, so the Iconics.
Yeah.
Chelsea Green. Chelsea Green already showed up in Ring of Honor last weekend at Best in the World, and she's going to be in the women's tournament, which starts this month.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see. I'm trying. Smojo already returned to NXT. I'm just trying to figure out who. Okay, here we go. Mickie James. Mickie James is working.
Mickie James is with NW.
Yeah, but she's executive producing Empower, the women event. Mm-hmm. So I guess she could technically still appear in Impact, right?
Yeah, possibly. I mean, they're all kind of.
It's just that because Gail Kim already showed up and teased the opponent. I kind of don't feel like she's going to be the opponent.
Yeah.
So only 3 women were released in April, and that was Billy Kay, Peyton Royce, and Chelsea Green. Thing is, Ruby Riott got released on June 2nd, so I don't think it's going to be her.
Way too soon.
So, is there someone else we're not thinking about here?
There probably is, because something, I don't know why something tells me that it's going to be.
You think it's going to be Gail Kim?
I don't. At first, I thought it was going to be Gail Kim, but then when I was thinking about it, and then when I saw the headline for this article, I was kind of like, you know what? I don't think it's going to be Gail Kim, because it could be one of the Iconics that they bring in. That's who they're going to face.
Let's see. Okay, What Culture has a list of potential opponents? Mm-hmm. Killer Kelly.
Possibly.
Taryn Terrell, a former Impact star.
Oh, I don't know about that one.
Okay. Chelsea Green. I mean, Chelsea Green, she is a former Knockouts champion, and I guess it's possible because she did show up at Best in the World. I guess there's no reason it couldn't be her, right?
It depends on the contract.
Mickie James. I mean, Mickie James would be free and clear to appear this Saturday. She would be.
It would make sense because of her. I mean, Gail Kim and Mickie James do know each other.
Oh, okay. Here we go. Here's another suggestion by What Culture, Dr. Baker. How unlikely and possible is that?
If we didn't see Kenny Omega in Impact, I would say it's impossible. Now that we've seen that and we've seen other AEW stars come in, that would not shock me, and you may have something there.
This was not my idea. This was actually What Culture. So,
What Culture?
Credit to What Culture for. I didn't even think of that at first, but now that I read this, I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I could see that happening. I could see that.
Because or it could be someone we're not even thinking about, for all we know.
Or somebody from AEW.
It could be it could be someone else, or it could be another, wrestler from Japan, or what have you. It could be Awesome Kong, for all we know.
Yeah.
So I'll be curious. Okay, so that's the women's title match, the Knockouts title. For the tag team titles, we have a 4-way tag team match. Violent by Design versus Rich Swann and Willie Mack versus TJP and Falaba versus the Good Brothers. I think Violent by Design are going to win because they're going to use the Freebird rule. So I think that's going to work in their favor.
Yeah, but out of all these guys, I mean, they're all good.
Yeah.
But I like TJP and Falaba. TJP's really, he's shown me something more, and you see him growing and getting more of a presence than he did when he was in WWE.
He did have, and he did just work a 60-minute Iron Man match with Josh Alexander.
Yeah, and he's doing some great work. He's doing New Japan as well, because he's going to be at that New Japan event here in LA. I mean, he's a guy. I mean, he's still a young guy too. He's nobody to look at and look to what the future is going to be.
He's not that young. He's 30. He's not old, but he's not a spring chicken either.
Well, nah, he's not like.
But he's been he's had a bit of a time in this business. He's been around a while.
Yeah.
Okay, for the Knockouts tag titles, Fire and Flava, Kiera Hogan and Tasha Steelz versus Havoc and Rosemary. Wouldn't surprise me if we see new champs here.
Yeah, same here. I think so.
Okay, and finally, in the singles match, we have Eddie Edwards versus W. Morrissey. W. Morrissey, everyone, is formerly Big Cass in WWE. Of Enzo Amore and Cass and Amore. Mm-hmm. I think Morrissey's going to win this one.
I'm going Eddie Edwards.
Oh, okay.
On this. I'm gonna go
and I think Omega. I don't think Omega's losing the belt to Callahan. So those are that's my big hot take for this.
I think it is, and it's gonna start a landslide, but that's my opinion.
Okay.
But it's funny the list that comicbook.com gave on who's going to be who would be making an appearance at
Oh yeah, so who was in the comicbook.com? Yeah. Let's get that out.
The article and get that up. So, the inspiration, FKA the Iconics.
Okay, so they would be free and clear to appear on Saturday.
And it's possible.
That would be possible, yes.
Yes. Going down, Samurai del Sol Kalisto.
Yeah. He'd be open to appear then, yes.
He would be open to appear, but
basically anyone who got released on April 15th.
Yeah, but I could tell you, I don't think it's going to happen.
You don't think.
And I'm just.
You don't know.
Not going to happen.
Okay.
I will give you that.
Chelsea Green, okay.
Chelsea Green, possible.
So basically, anyone who got released before April 15th can show up. Mickie James also got released on April 15th. Because we're thinking, well, when was Buddy Murphy?
Buddy Murphy was released in April as well, wasn't he? With Kalisto?
Oh, Buddy Murphy was released June 2nd.
Oh, June 2nd.
He put August. No, there's no way. No.
Nah,
he's on 3 months. Impossible because he's on 3 months. He posted on his Instagram August 31st. So that's the last day.
Yeah.
Mojo Rawley. Let me check his. He was yes, he could appear. He was released in April.
Yeah. And then a massive surprise, Daniel Bryan.
We don't know what's going on with Daniel Bryan. I don't think Daniel Bryan would. If Daniel Bryan signed with someone, I don't think he would sign Impact. Sorry.
No, I don't think so either. I think he would be at AEW or Ring of Honor.
Or New Japan.
Yeah.
Or New Japan. I no offense to Impact. I think Impact, they've made great strides. I don't think they're getting Daniel Bryan. So no.
Yeah.
So no to Samurai del Sol Kalisto. No to Daniel Bryan. No to Buddy Murphy. There's no way. Okay? Buddy Murphy is not on a 1 month. He is not on a 1 month. Aleister Black was on the 1 month.
Yeah.
I heard on Solid Monsters podcast, he was talking about how WWE called Buddy Murphy and thought he was only on a 1 month non-compete when he was on a 3 month. And they tried to extend his non-compete to 3 months. And you want to know why? The Office people confused him with Aleister Black. They thought Buddy Murphy was Aleister Black.
What does that tell you? Seriously, what does that tell you?
That, WWE is a big corporation and they have too many people that don't know what they're doing and don't understand wrestling. They don't know who's on the roster. They hire writers who don't know wrestling and don't understand wrestling and don't like wrestling. And that's just that's the company culture now.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong, like Samurai del Sol, Kalisto, like As an X Division wrestler, I mean, yeah, he would fit in, but I don't think he wants to wrestle anymore. And if you've seen the interview, yeah, he'll be interested in wrestling, but I think there's a
I think I think Kalisto will keep his options open, is what he'll do.
Yeah. He's a businessman. And that's what he is. And he's thinking like a businessman now. So it's like I think you never say never.
Okay.
But I'm curious to see what he's gonna do. I don't know.
Well, I think he already hinted what he wants to do.
Well, yeah, he's already said it over on Chris Van Vliet.
Chris Van Vliet?
Yeah, his interview show.
Okay. So yeah, but I definitely don't think Kalisto, because of what you're saying, Daniel Bryan and Murphy, because as far as we know, Murphy is on a 90-day no compete, and he already posted August 31st as like the last day. So I think because he got released on June 2nd, and I don't think he's on the 30-day because Malachi Black was on the 30-day, and he's already signed with AEW. He's officially signed to an AEW contract, so they got him locked down. All right, so Money in the Bank. So first up, we have the final competitor for the women's Money in the Bank match in Tamina. So both Tamina and Natalya, the women's tag champs, will be competing in the women's match. So we have Zelina Vega, Asuka, Naomi, Alexa Bliss. I'm not going to call her Nikki.
Say it.
Nikki Ash, almost a superhero. Oh my God, I want to vomit.
You know what that kind of sounds like if you take that H away, right?
I'm not gonna.
I'm just
groan.
It's not the best of names.
Nikki, excuse me. So Nikki, Ash, ASH, Liv Morgan, Natalya, and Tamina. So those are the 8 women for Money in the Bank. So we have all 8 of our women. Let's go to the full card. So they added Natalya and Tamina in the last few days. What do you think?
It's going to be interesting, but I could already tell you Nikki Ash is not winning.
Okay.
I don't think Tamina or Natalya is going to win this.
Okay.
I have a feeling it's going to be between
I think it's going to be between
Bliss,
okay.
Asuka.
Okay.
And I think Liv Morgan. I think Zelina Vega will be in there. She'll be the 4th.
Zelina Vega is not going to win.
No, she's not going to win. Like she may be like she's going to be there for some time, but I don't think she's not going to win.
Okay.
Morgan, Alexa Bliss, or Asuka.
Let's see. I'm going to pick Liv Morgan. Shot in the dark.
Yeah.
So just Liv Morgan. Okay, so the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. Ricochet, John Morrison, Johnny Drip Drip, Riddle, Drew McIntyre, Big E, Kevin Owens, King Nakamura, and Seth Rollins. Currently, the online betting odds have Big E as the favorite to win.
I think that's a good idea, but something tells me Seth Rollins is going to pull out the win.
Okay.
And it's going to be Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns.
So you're picking Seth Rollins to win this one.
Yeah.
You want to know who I'm picking?
Who?
John Cena.
Coming out of nowhere?
John Cena, just like at that Royal Rumble way back when. Exactly. Exactly. John Cena is my pick. How do you like that?
It wouldn't shock me. With Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, exactly.
Brock Lesnar took somebody out and took their space, so
singles match for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Bobby Lashley defends against Kofi Kingston. I'll give Bobby Lashley this. His promo last Monday on Raw was really good, setting up this match.
Yeah.
And I'll credit where credit is due to WWE. I thought that segment where he trashed the VIP lounge and was like, "I've had it. I've gotten too soft. Enough of this MVP. I'm gonna, I'm gonna smash this guy." That was really good. So
and see,
the setup to this match was good.
We even got comments coming in. Big E has no business winning Money in the Bank. I agree with the Seth Rollins pick.
I don't know what you.
Bunda 713.
Man,
we're getting comment on this one.
Hey Bunda, thank you for commenting, Bunda. Yep. I appreciate it, but I don't see that at all. Bobby Lashley and MVP need the crowd to get him over. We'll see. We'll see how the crowd. We'll see how the because Raw last Monday was taped, so this will be on Sunday the first time crowds will be seeing like guys like Lashley since he won the title. I guess other than WrestleMania.
Yeah, and here's the thing: like I would love to see Kalisto. I think Kalisto was done dirty.
Okay.
First SmackDown on Fox, and he loses the belt within seconds and to Brock Lesnar.
You mean Kofi?
Kofi, yeah, Kofi Kingston.
Yeah. You said Kalisto.
Oh, sorry. I'm still in my mind with the K's. There's no more Kalisto. Kalisto's gone into the pasture for that name.
Yeah.
Kofi Kingston, I'm saying, like, I think he was done dirty.
Yeah.
The way he lost the belt. The way it was just like, oh, yeah, here, boom, done. Here's the belt. Let's move forward. We don't need you there. I would like to see Kofi Kingston win as a redemption to it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's gonna happen.
It's not gonna happen. I think I don't think they're gonna do any big, major surprise title changes until SummerSlam, and I don't think that's gonna happen here. I think it's gonna be a hard fought match, but Lashley will come out the winner.
Yeah.
Okay, for the Raw Women's title, it'll be Rhea Ripley defending against Charlotte Flair. The match they had last month ended in disqualification. I think Rhea Ripley's going to win. What do you think?
Rhea Ripley. I think there's no way they're going to change a belt right now and give it to Charlotte Flair.
Okay.
I think they're going to set something up for Rhea Ripley with somebody else for SummerSlam.
Okay, for the WWE Raw Tag Team titles. So this was the match that got moved from TV to the pay-per-view. AJ Styles and Omos defending against the Viking Raiders. I'm not expecting a title change either. I think if we were to see a title change, maybe it would happen here, but I don't think we're going to see one.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I would love to, though, because I don't really think that Omos and AJ Styles thing is working that well. And I think we need a traditional tag team.
Well, we know how WWE feels about traditional tag teams.
Well, yeah, exactly.
It's crazy because back in the 80s, you had like the best tag team roster ever. WWF.
Exactly.
You know, you had think about this. You had British Bulldogs, the Hart Foundation, the Fabulous Rougeos, the Killer Bees. You had Nikolai Volkov and Iron Sheik.
Even later, the Bushwhackers.
Demolition.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. So.
Okay. Yeah. Nowadays, you only have a couple.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think this will be the likely main. I think Roman Reigns versus Edge will be the likely main event for the Universal title. Edge does not have a chance in hell of winning the title on Sunday.
No, it's gonna be Roman Reigns. It's not gonna. Everybody already knows pretty much where the storyline is headed because they've already said enough already. It's going to be Roman Reigns. We're going into SummerSlam with him facing Cena, and that's going to be the first test, and then it's going to lead up to WrestleMania.
I have a rumor, by the way, on Lashley's likely SummerSlam opponent. This comes from Fightful Select. On Monday, we are going to see the return of WWE Hall of Famer Bill Goldberg to feud with Bobby Lashley
Give me a break.
for the title at SummerSlam.
Oh, please no.
Let's
Please,
see.
please no.
Let's see what Bunda has to say. The
About
early
that one?
2000s.
Yeah.
No,
I would like to
I
see
was just reading it. The 2000s had Edge and Christian, Dudley's, New Age Outlaws, and Hardys way back. Yeah, they had a good tag team back then. But
Yeah, exactly.
I would say in terms of groundbreaking, revolutionary tag teams, I'd say the Rock and Wrestling Golden Age had the best tag team. Bunda is happy about Goldberg.
Yeah, exactly. And am I the only one who's just like, dude, why can't we get?
I'm
new
Jewish
guys?
and I'm not happy
I'm
about
like,
this.
I'm like, why are you bringing? If it does
Again,
nothing,
they've done this. They've gone to this well so many times.
and it's like, don't get me wrong, I like Bill Goldberg, and I liked him in his prime, and I liked him when he came back. But
You know how old Goldberg is now? Guess how old Goldberg is.
I'm thinking 56,
He's 54.
54. I'm off by 2.
Look, Goldberg he is in great shape for his age.
Oh yeah, when I'm that age,
Yeah,
I'm
but like Goldberg's, he's a to even call him a special attraction now is a stretch. You know, he can't work like he can work maybe a 3, maybe a 4-minute match at most. Yeah. We're lucky if we get 2 minutes out of him at this point. Like, if this was Brock Lesnar, I could maybe understand.
Exactly.
But it's not. It's not. You're going to do Goldberg as a consolation because we can't get Lashley versus Lesnar. It makes no sense to me.
Yeah.
Bunda. And guess what? It works. People love. All right. Bunda is clearly Bunda 713 is clearly the key demo for Vince McMahon booking.
And here's the thing. I wouldn't be surprised if Vince McMahon actually had a thought at one point to put the belt back on Hogan for just a quick Bon Voyage run.
Okay, so Goldberg, according to Fightful Select, Goldberg is committed to 2 matches a year through 2022. Mm-hmm. He wrestled Drew McIntyre for the WWE title. So I guess this would be that first match this year. So his next match this year will be allegedly Bobby Lashley for the title at Summer. Like, what a waste if they do that title as a title match at SummerSlam. Yeah. You know, even though this is the WWE title. That's the original title.
Yeah,
the one that goes back for decades.
Yeah.
Brock Lesnar ponytail. Do you want? Maybe we should show this.
We should show this because I think this is a funny photo.
I'll send you the link. This is what Bunda is talking about.
Yeah, I was like, what? I had not seen this, but when him cutting meat.
So he did something with Do you know the Bearded Butchers people? They have like a YouTube channel where they're like these expert butchers.
I didn't know about it until I saw him on Instagram.
So Lesnar kind of showed up at, we've been wondering where Lesnar is. I sent you the tweet so we can show everyone. Right now. So he did this thing with the Bearded Butchers from YouTube. They took some photos with him, and apparently they have a full video coming up with Lesnar. It might have been released already.
I thought it was.
But yeah, Lesnar, that's not the where's the ponytail?
Yeah, that one.
Here, I'll give you the no.
But he shows him cutting fat off of the meat. See, like without the ponytail, that looks pretty good.
Here's one. Here's part of it.
Okay, here we go. Oh, there it is.
I'm trying to. I'm sure there are more out there.
Yeah, I don't know why it's not showing up. Let me see.
I think it's the angle. It's because of the angles of the photos.
Yeah.
Here's one. Here's another one.
Here we go. Now I found one. Let's see if the one you showed me actually shows. Yeah, that's it. Okay, we'll bring that up right now.
All right, here we go. From Therese Owens.
Yeah, there we go.
Here's another one. So yeah, there we go. Lesnar with the pony. What's going on here with Lesnar trying a new look?
He kind of looks like a badass Billy Gunn.
I kind of see it. Hey, even at 44, you can try some new things. You can.
Exactly. During COVID, I had long hair, so I mean,
it weirds me out. It weirds me out. It weirds me out seeing him like this. I never would have imagined Lesnar would have like a look like this, but hey, all the power to him. Exactly. Bunda is happy as a clam here. He looks legit. Bunda loves this.
Here's the thing. He looks menacing. Like if he came back to WWE looking like that, he looks.
Oh, okay. I have a video. Here's a video of him with the ponytail, cutting the meat from the Bearded Butchers. Let me see. Just trying to get the shorter version.
So are we gonna see? Do you think we're gonna see a Lesnar Lashley fight?
I feel like we still could, but I feel like they should have done that for SummerSlam. I don't know. Mm-hmm. I hope we do at some point, because that's at least still a fresh, cool matchup you can do. But you can't wait. You can't wait forever to do that matchup. If you wait like 2 more years, I would say no. Mm-hmm. Okay, so there we go. Mm-hmm. Here's Lesnar with the Bearded Butchers. Yep. He is in his element here. What do you think?
I think it's a cool video, and I'm gonna watch it because
I want to see
I want to see because it's like.
I'll say that these guys are really good. These guys are like what these guys do with their meat. It's like mm-hmm. it's like a painter. It's like an expert painter. It's like watching Picasso, but with butchered meat. What? The way you said it. It's like a painter. It's like
what they do with their meat.
it's whatever. Call it livestock, butchered meat, carcasses, whatever.
I mean, to be honest, it is a talent, and it's something that not everybody could do, and it's a skill. It really
no, because I saw them. They worked with like the butcher carcass of like a grade A5, like Kobe or like a Yagyu cow, and the way they worked, they were cutting on. They were expertly like just carving this up. Like to perfection. I'm like, I've never seen, in terms of like watching butchers work, I was never fascinating watching butchers work until I saw this video.
Yeah.
They have a really cool channel. And I think watching their videos, like I'm less like, you think you would be averted to seeing like butchers work and mm-hmm. stuff like that, but it's I think it's better seeing where the food comes from and how they work with it.
Yeah, because I remember as a kid, there used to be a neighborhood market by my grandma's house, and we used to see them get actually the ground chuck and turn it into hamburger.
Yeah,
and literally you'd see them putting it into the machine and everything, and you knew that it was a fresh product.
Right.
Whereas prepackaged, it went through a manufacturing farm and stuff like that. So, like, I mean.
I like seeing when the meat is getting like freshly made and given straight to you. I definitely, and after seeing how sausage gets made, I'm a little more, if it's good high quality sausage from good high quality like pigs, I'm less averted to seeing how it gets done.
Yeah, exactly.
But Lesnar looks like he's having the time of his life here.
Exactly. As long as he's not making sauce.
And it's nice seeing him. It's nice seeing him like, not like an everyday type of job here, but it's fun seeing him, having fun and working with these guys.
Yeah.
But yeah, there you go. Bunda, based on the last match at Mania, which was great for a big man match. Let's Bunda. Do you think Bunda is trolling us here? What do you think? Or you think he's genuine?
I don't know. Like he is a Lesnar fan.
I think he's
Well,
I
know
think
he's a
he is
Goldberg fan. You know he's a Goldberg fan. So,
okay.
but
I
also
think he's
too,
playing it. I think he's playing it up to get a
but
rise out
also
of us.
too, it wouldn't shock me because of Vince McMahon. He may be in the head of Vince McMahon.
Okay, here's an idea. The ultimate booking is if Vince can get McGregor at Mania. Conor McGregor.
Yeah, and he's
who
not
just
gonna-
lost last Saturday to Dustin Poirier.
That's gonna take some time. If that's ever gonna happen, it's gonna be about 2 years.
Conor would get a big payday out of that.
Yeah, and I think you're not wrong about that, Bunda. I think you may have something there because I don't know if he's gonna be able after that type of a break at his age.
I think McGregor's done as irrelevant. I think he's done as a relevant fighter, personally.
Yeah.
I think he's
he's
embarrassing himself at this point.
Yeah, I think WWE may be a good opportunity, and I wouldn't be surprised. And I think Bunda has something there with McGregor. It's something that's been talked about. But with that break and his age, I think he's done as UFC.
Because when you're a combat athlete, for a lot of them, after you hit 32, you're kind of past your prime, and that sucks. But that's the reality for a lot of prize fighters.
Mm-hmm.
You're kind of past your prime when you're in your early 30s. And McGregor just turned 33 yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're a prize fighter, your prime years could be like 26 to 32.
Yeah. And Bunda commented Conor in a tag match like they did with Rounder Rousey.
I could see that happening.
Yeah, I could see that.
As like a one-off thing, I think it could happen.
And I think maybe not next year's WrestleMania. I think the WrestleMania that they have here in LA in 2023 may be a possibility that we see that.
Mm-hmm. Maybe they could do WrestleMania in Ireland, in Dublin, in his hometown.
Maybe. But I think they're going to have to hit it.
It'd be a bit.
First. Vegas hits off good with SummerSlam.
Okay. Let's see. Okay, so now there was a Cena story I wanted to get to.
Yeah, get into the Cena story.
All right. Now this one comes from Meltzer. This one comes from Meltzer on Wrestling Observer Radio. So Variety reported that Cena was cast in this new spy thriller for Matthew Vaughn called Argyle. Has a huge cast, and Cena is in this cast, and it reportedly starts filming in August in Europe. Mm-hmm. And the rumor is that WWE wants Roman Reigns versus Cena at SummerSlam. That's the rumor. According to Dave Meltzer, the belief is that the match with Cena versus Reigns is a go, and the match is still happening, and his new movie shoot is not going to be a hurdle. So, I mean, look, movie shoots and schedules, not everyone is shooting at the same time. They might not even need Cena right away. And SummerSlam is August 21st, so he could still do SummerSlam before he even has to go to Europe to start filming this movie or whatever. Yeah. But do you believe we're going to see Cena wrestle Roman Reigns at SummerSlam?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so because it's going to be, 2 weeks after Suicide Squad comes out?
Yeah.
Peacemaker's currently in post for the show.
Right.
I think, and Vince wants a good pop in Vegas.
And Cena has already said he's coming back. He just won't say when.
Yeah. I think at the level of a WrestleMania or one of the big four, this is your first out of the big four, so I think that's going to be a reason why they'll bring him back.
Okay.
And he was talking about it at the Fast 9 press junkets.
But did he talk about SummerSlam?
No. He just left it vague that he would be interested in coming back.
Okay. So now we have something with Kalisto that I wanted to get to because your Kalisto is your buddy.
Yeah.
Let's see. Trying to bring up this story. So Kalisto really did. This was really his first interview since he got released by WWE with Chris Van Vliet. Yeah. Let's see. So he wanted to do. So remember before he got released, he was doing those promos, like those kind of heel promos, taunting Rey Mysterio.
Yeah.
According to Kalisto, he was pitching a mask match with Rey Mysterio to Vince McMahon. Ray had his blessing.
He didn't pitch it to Vince McMahon. I don't think he did.
Oh, his biggest regret is not pitching it to Vince McMahon.
He talked to
Ray and Dominic.
He talked
to Paul Heyman. Paul
Heyman was all for it.
So the only issue is that he didn't pitch it to Vince. So, which is a challenge because Vince, if you're trying to get an appointment with Vince, it's like it's really hard, and he has almost no time for anybody, basically.
Yeah.
But he did pitch it. He did pitch it around WWE.
Yeah.
It looked like he was trying to turn heel before he got fired.
Yeah.
And it looked like WWE just had no time for him anymore. Yeah. Unfortunately.
Which is sad.
Do you think he would have been okay with losing his mask?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so because I'm never gonna bring up anything that we've talked about personally because this is not the place and this is
right.
We're friends and we're gonna keep it that way because he's a good friend of mine. And I think that would have been a great match. I think it would have been a great transition into things. I think it would have done a lot of great things. I think this probably would have been I don't know what angle it would have gone or who would have won or anything like that, but I thought it was a great idea. I listened to I saw the whole interview from Chris Van Vliet, and it was a really good interview, and it shows him. And this is the one thing I liked is that a lot of people that you see in your interview and that they interview sometimes don't show themselves.
Yeah.
You saw him. And that's what I like. And that's the person you saw the person who has become my friend, who I've allowed into my circle because I don't allow a lot of people into my circle. And I think that's what we have in common. And you saw that. And that's what the real person is. He's a great guy. He has a great future. He has a lot of great things going on. And I only see upside to whatever he does.
He also said, I think he basically came up with the whole Juan Cena idea.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
I didn't know that, and I hadn't heard that story, but it's funny.
He also talked about he's in the best shape of his life right now.
Oh, hell yeah.
I've seen the photos, I've seen the clips. He is looking super fit.
Yeah.
And it disappoints me that he's worked so hard in WWE, just didn't take notice.
Well, I think they do that with a lot of different wrestlers. And especially with the Latino wrestlers lately. You really don't see a lot of them, or they really get it into more comedy skits instead of being taken seriously. And like today, he announced was it Lucha University. And he's doing something with that.
Is he going to start? Is it like a school?
Well, it's a class. First, it's a class with a wrestling school out of San Antonio.
Oh, okay.
And those are great things, It's like he's a teacher.
Help the next generation,
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I say, I will never say anything on this air because he's my friend, and we keep that.
No, we're just talking general stuff.
But like I say, he has a lot of great things coming up. He has a lot of great things happening, and I'm telling you, what you're going to be seeing in the future, or what you're going to see from him in all aspects of not only entertainment and business, it's going to be surprising.
All right. Now, here's the bad news for today.
Okay.
We are in a pandemic. The pandemic, like it or not, is not here yet.
Yeah.
And now I have serious concerns that we're going back to a space where I think we could be right back where we basically were about 6 months ago before things started gradually getting better. So PWI Insiders Dave Scherer had a story about COVID cases going back up in Las Vegas. And this is significant because Las Vegas is about to host SummerSlam in a few weeks. And at a sold out stadium, a football stadium where they're supposed to have over 40,000 people, and then CinemaCon as well the following week after SummerSlam. And then also today we had the announcement from LA County where they will be instituting a new mask mandate where you must wear masks indoors regardless of vaccination status. What do you make of all this? And are things getting worse here, Mike?
I think, well, of course they're gonna get worse. I mean, there's no like.
I'm scared right now. I'm just like I'm so broken down by all this.
But you know what? We like. Here's the thing, and this is something I told people on staff here at Muse.
Okay.
Is the fact that we have to continue working. We can't stop it like we did, because of the fact that like if you thought it was bad before, it's gonna get even worse this next if we had to go like we did the last time. And and a lot of people, you're gonna see people going through some hard times. And the worst thing about it, I mean, we gotta take care. We have to look after each other. And I think that's the thing. I'm gonna get my soapbox right now because I read a lot of things.
Okay.
But we have to look after each other. We have to wear a mask. If we feel, that's why I say, like, if we feel like we need to wear a mask, let's wear a mask. I mean, I don't mind wearing a mask. It doesn't bother me. I've been wearing a mask since I cut grass when I was a kid. So it doesn't bother me. I mean, if I could keep, like, and the one thing that I could take concern about is people who have conditions that could cause problems. Like, especially for me, like, I lost my mom to cancer. And I think about everybody else who's going through cancer. I mean, Mark Hoppus is going through treatment right now for cancer and going through chemo. And I think about the people who are going through chemo and the possibility of getting exposed to something like this, because something, even with the vaccine, if you're taking chemo, that's not going to help. And I think it's a matter of point that we got to take. I think we can move forward. I think we could do things. But I think people need to start thinking and less about themselves and think more about people as a whole.
Okay.
Because we need to move forward. Like, we can't to be honest, like, I'm not from all these websites that we do. If we were to get shut down again and no more anything, I think we'll see at least 75% of these sites close. Because of the fact of the amount of money. I mean, you're already not making money now. It's very hard to make money now. But it's like to have to go back down where we're in a business where we have to be in front of people and we have to do stories. It's tough. And I think, like, yeah, you could still, like we just saw today that Gabriel Iglesias got COVID even though he was fully vaccinated.
That's true.
But here's the thing. He's not in the hospital. He's not dying of the disease. The vaccine is working, and the vaccine's doing what it needs to do. And being somebody who believes in science.
I think the important thing is to be vigilant so we can avoid, clogging up the hospital system and the ICU and all that. Bunda, they're not going to get worse. It's just what we're going to be like the people in Japan and just wear a mask. I mean, Bunda, the Olympics are closed off to spectators now. So, I mean, that's not a great situation either. I'm sorry.
No, but I think I agree with Bunda. I'm hoping that we have in place where it's not like we see rises right now.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping these rises scare people, like, because the people who are so against vaccinations and
or wearing a mask
or just anything and using it as a personal freedom thing, which is bull. It's like
I'm fully vaxxed, and
so am I.
But I will look if that's the mask. Look, this is the new mask man. Look, this is the new mask mandate. I want to continue doing the things that I'm doing. And if I can still go to a screening, but I have to wear a mask, I'm going to wear a mask.
Yeah.
And not just because I don't want to get sick, but I don't want look. The vaccine doesn't necessarily prevent you from getting COVID or spreading COVID. I don't want other people to get sick either. So as you said, we have to take care of each other and we have to think of other people too.
Yeah, and it's after we could go still see a WrestleMania and be around.
Yes, so
have some time.
So we can continue doing the things we are doing right now. So hopefully, but I am very scared that I am scared if people are not taking heed right now, that we are going to be back in like where we were last summer. And if that happens, that's going to be it's going to be tough. It's going to be, it's been challenging already, but it will be challenging again. I'll say that much. Yeah. But I think there's a lot of truth. I think there's a lot of truth and a lot of wisdom in what you had to say there.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, I read the comments on what people say on the news whenever they post something on ABC7 here locally in Los Angeles.
Mm-hmm.
And being somebody who went to a technical high school, a science high school,
mm-hmm.
and studying the sciences in high school and in college, I don't get it. I don't get it. And that's the thing. Like, I want to be over and done with this. I know it's never going to go away. It's always going to be around. But if we could control it, we can move forward and we could actually. I feel like because I want to go to a wrestling match.
I feel like if we weren't so disparate and sloppy about all this, we could have maybe gotten past this already. I don't know for certain. I feel like we could have.
Well, and also too, like
I don't know.
I worked for the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. I'm never scared about it. I worked in the federal government.
Okay.
And seeing how things work in the federal government, usually when something like this happens, and a lot of people don't know things that actually have like sicknesses that have gone around and have been stopped before it gets to that level.
Mm-hmm.
In this one, we didn't see it. Like they didn't act to stop it and control it. That's why I say like SARS and everything else that came around and other diseases that have happened in the past, they've taken action to control it so it doesn't reach the whole population or become a pandemic. And this time, and the last time we didn't see it, and there was a lot of issues that we could talk about for another show. Not this one, but another show. But we could go into the big how the federal government works for another show.
All right. Well, everyone, I hope everyone's staying safe out there and staying vigilant. Thank you for the viewers who were watching us this week. I think that's all the major stuff. I think we can close this one out unless you have anything.
No,
you want to add.
It's hot. I'm sweating. My computer's on fire right now. I'm gonna have to put it next to a fan.
All right,
so put some ice on there.
So, and for people who came in later, if you didn't hear from Mike earlier, go down to Doghouse and check out the Big Kahuna burger. Right?
Oh, definitely the Big Kahuna.
That looks like a bad boy.
Oh, it's really good. Let's show it for anybody who's in here. Let's show that one more time because it was such a good burger. Like,
get yourself a treat, a Big Kahuna burger.
It is awesome.
Tasty burger.
So good.
That is a tasty burger.
Opens up again. Let me show everybody what that burger looks like.
I think that you want to know what's funny. I think there is a chain of burgers called Big Kahuna.
Mm-hmm. And that's it.
Oh no, no, that's from Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, that's it. The Big Kahuna.
So it must be a reference to Pulp Fiction then, right?
Well, it's a Hawaiian style type of burger. That's
okay.
Why they referenced it with and they used the Hawaiian buns in the burger, the Hawaiian rolls.
Mm-hmm.
And they're so good. But and
what's that in the middle? Is that onion ring?
This right here?
By the jalapeno, like that kind of thick.
Hold up really quick. Let me point.
By the jalapenos, on top of the jalapeno.
This thing right here?
Yeah, what is that?
That's an onion ring.
Oh, okay, it's an onion ring. Okay.
Yeah, and the cool thing about it, and this is what I love, is that they always have a featured item every month. And when everybody who purchases, shoot, my wow, everybody who purchases a featured burger or featured item every month, $1 goes to No Kid Hungry, and that's an amazing cause. And the guys at everybody at Doghouse does such an amazing job and does some amazing cooking, and they're really out there in the community. So you should really check them out. Buy a Big Kahuna burger. You won't get a nice cold beer in this hot weather. A Big Kahuna burger, and you'll be happy and set for the rest of the day. Is that a good way of
That
saying it?
looks.
I
Yeah,
think so.
I think it looks amazing.
It really is.
Those
But
toppings look beautiful. So
oh,
yeah.
and then the sauce that they put on it, I was just like, oh, damn, this is so good. And
All right.
once again, I gotta thank Heather Man and everybody at Doghouse. You guys are awesome. Keep up the good work.
Okay. So
Jeffrey,
meanwhile,
how can
for me, so check out my exclusive interview with EC3 at 411mania.com. I have another big interview in the works for the 411 Wrestling Interviews podcast that will also be going up on 411 Mania. It's not yet a done deal, but I'm hoping it's going to happen later this month. I don't want to say it just yet, just because I don't want to jinx it, and until it's like in a done deal, and I will talk more about it. Also, you can check out my reviews of Loki, my reviews of Black Widow, and I have another big movie review coming up next week for a big movie. You've probably heard of it, but I can't quite say what it is yet. But
does it go?
if you know, yeah,
Okay. And ojos and
yes, exactly. Yeah, you've got it. You've got it. So there's that movie and some other stuff coming up the pipeline. So check that out. And you can check out the 411 Wrestling Interviews podcast on Apple Podcast, Stitcher, Spotify, and Google Play. And you can you can listen to my interview with the real EC3, who just beat Flip Gordon last Sunday at ROH Best in the World.
And I'm gonna actually be doing a review of that same movie as well with the ps and the ojos. So I'm looking forward to seeing it. Uh, yeah, but thank you everybody for joining us again today. Thank you for everything that it's been a great week of these live shows. And thank you so much for being a part of it. Want to send a shout out to our audio people at Tascam. It's their 50th anniversary. If you love the sound and you love what we're doing here, check them out. The Model 12. It's really cool, and you could do a lot of things other than just doing podcasts. So check it out. Thank you to Doghouse and everybody over there. Thank you to Jeffrey. Thank you to all our guests. Well, not guests, our commentators. I guess guest commentators is what you could call them. Guest commentators. So thank you very much, and we'll be back next week. Oh, before I forget, we didn't put up the last week's podcast because it's been a little crazy. So last week's podcast, this week's podcasts are going up at the same time and will be going up this week. So you could go back. And I will see you guys next time. Me and Jeffrey will be back for This Week in Pro Wrestling next Thursday. So we'll see you soon.